Good morning, everyone. Back live again to finish up some homemade brown gravy for catering that I have today. Wasn't able to, I promised I would give you guys the recipe for homemade brown gravy. Didn't end up making it last night. So we are back live this morning to do just that and finish up the process. So we have my cast iron here warming. To start, I'm gonna make my gravy in this. I'm gonna bring you guys over to here. I wanna show you how the steak came out. All right, so we have this beautiful fried steak. Okay, got our fried steak going, and then we have 2 pans of that. So this was done late last night. And so what I'm gonna do is make our homemade gravy and get this fed to our people. So I just wanted to show you guys this. It smells amazing. You can really just eat it like this, but we are gonna make smothered fried steak. It smells amazing. So just wanted to show you guys that. I'm not gonna be live long. This is just for me to show the process and also the homemade brown gravy, which I promised. So let's come back over here and go ahead and get the gravy going so I can get my steaks in the oven and be done with the cooking process for today. So my skillet is just about ready. The first thing I'm gonna do is come in with some onion as my base. I'm actually gonna add a little bit of oil first. This is good and hot. So we're gonna come in with some extra virgin olive oil. All right, can already see that's smoking up there. Let's add in our onion. I'm gonna add in about half of this. All right, so we're just getting our onions sauteed. And I guess I'll use the rest of this. Go ahead and use the rest of this. It is for 20 pounds of steak. So we got this beautiful onion going. Again, we're gonna work on the homemade brown gravy. And good morning, you guys. Happy Friday. Back live again to finish up my prep for today. I went live last night. Did a bulk of the heavy work, which I'm so glad because I woke up feeling a little tired this morning. But I didn't have to get up and have to do a whole lot. So thank goodness for me starting yesterday. All right, so we're getting this beautiful onion sauteed. I have a side of, this is just some regular gravy, but this is just like extra that we're gonna use for those who want it. But this right here is going to be the gravy, that the main gravy. All right, so I'm gonna come in with some seasoning, with some salt and pepper. That's really all you need for this, because remember our flour is seasoned, our beef is seasoned well. Okay, we're being mindful of our salt. So we just have some salt and pepper, some oil at the bottom for our homemade brown gravy. Next, you'll need some flour if you're following along. Good morning, happy Friday, you guys. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Chloe, good morning. Happy Friday. I am making some homemade brown gravy for my country fried steak for today, for my catering. Good morning, you guys. Happy Friday, y'all. All right, so this is looking beautiful. So now, I am gonna come in with a little bit more oil, and then we're gonna come in with a cup of flour. A cup of flour. I'm using a cup because I have to make enough for 20 pounds of steak. So, all right, so this is getting a beautiful color right here. Let's come in with one more item here. And actually, I'm gonna wait to put this later. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna add a little bit of aroma. Some people use thyme. I'm just using a little bit of fresh rosemary just because I have it. And that immediately took the aroma to another level. Wow. All right. So let's come in with a cup of flour, you guys. And keep this going. All right, so I have my cup of flour here. Remember, this is for 20 pounds of steak. So we're just gonna come right into it. Don't be scared, just do it, right? Just do it, just do it. So again, we're making a homemade brown gravy. All right, so we have a cup of white flour. Okay, we're not gonna add any liquid just yet. So now what we need to do, I'm touching this cast iron like it's not hot. What we need to do is brown this bad boy. We're not gonna add any liquid, and you can see it's already kind of turning brown, but you wanna brown this. All right, so we've come in with a little bit of oil. We came in with, this is about maybe 4 onions right here, salt and pepper. You have to brown, you wanna brown your gravy. Brown your flour. Some people don't wait to brown their flour, and that's why the gravy tastes like flour. So you literally have to cook your flour dry like this, okay? You can already see it's changing color. That's gonna give us our color. Some people add browning to their homemade brown gravy, but browning is just gonna color it. But if your flour is not cooked and you're putting browning on top, that taste profile is not gonna do you justice to add browning. This is starting to burn just a little bit. It is a cast iron, so it's okay. And this is going to brown. I want this more brown, don't worry. Trust the process before we add any liquid. And this is already turning color, which is good. Obviously, the middle is the most hot of my pan. That's why I'm not walking away from this, because we don't want it to burn. And so I think this is the most intimidating part, where people get to this part and they're like, you have flour and onion, no water, you know. I think a cast iron is the best tool to use to make your gravy. There's just something about a cast iron that allows you, that really just brings your flavors together, and how it cooks it as well. You see how I'm getting that flavor at the bottom, but I'm also cooking this here. I want more color. Again, we're literally cooking and browning our flour before we add any liquid. Don't walk away from this. This is not something you just set and walk away from. I have turned down my stove there. So just continuing on this process. You'll smell it if it starts to burn. You'll smell it, so don't worry. All right, and right when it starts to do that, that's when we just keep moving our pan. This is getting to be a beautiful color right here. But we're gonna continue because we did add a cup. I added a whole cup of flour, so I wanna make sure. Want to make sure. And then we're gonna come in with some water here shortly. And yes, this is getting a nice toast. This is where your color comes from with your gravy. I didn't know people put browning in gravy until I seen I heard someone mention it. But browning, you don't need browning in gravy. Not if you're burning, not burning. We say burn in the islands, but you're not burning it. Look at that color. Look at the difference. Perfect. All you have to do is brown and cook your flour. All of this is flavor right here. Okay. I'm gonna give it maybe another minute. And then we're gonna come in. Hey, you guys. We're gonna come in and pay attention to the smell, what you smell. I think right around here is good. I think right around here is good to where I'm ready to start adding some liquid. Notice I have not walked away. I'm constantly clearing this middle part because that's the hottest part of my pan. And I'm using that area to literally cook and brown this beautiful flour. Because we want brown gravy. We want brown gravy. All right. Look at that. That's beautiful. It may not look like it, but trust the process. Okay. So I think we're ready to come in. This right here is perfect, perfect, perfect. So let's go ahead and come in. I've got some water here. I also have 3 beef bouillon, beef cubes here. If you don't have beef cubes, you can use chicken. Okay, you can still see that there at the bottom. Now, look at that. Look at that color. Why people use browning, I don't know. Look at that. Oh my. Look at that. Look it. We're gonna add some more water. Look at that. Look at that rich color right there. So I'm gonna add some more water. My stove is still low. Because remember, a cast iron carries more heat, so you don't have to have a cast iron super, super high like you would need another. Wow. Use a wooden spoon. Don't mess up your pan. Wow. Okay. This looks good. Now the key. I'm gonna switch this because 2 things. I'm gonna add in some water. I'm gonna add in the rest of this water right here. Okay. Remember, this is seasoned water. Try to use either like some beef broth or something, not just regular. I'm gonna add these cubes in here too for flavor. We're gonna ditch this and we're gonna pull out our whisk. I strongly encourage, if you have a whisk, use a whisk. Because remember, we're working with flour, so we don't want to use this hand so you guys can see. We want to make sure all that flour is mixed. We don't want any chunks of flour going on. What am I gonna do with the onions? I already used the onions, so all the onions, I cut up like 8 onions yesterday. So between half of those onions are already on top of the steak, and then this other half is here. So this is our homemade brown gravy. I didn't use a drop of browning. All you had to do was literally cook. All you had to do is make sure that this color is from browning and cooking your flour. Look at that. That's beautiful. So now this is going to render. This is gonna, and we're not gonna cook too long. I think the longest part was browning the flour. Good morning, guys. Happy Friday to you all. I think I'm caught up on the comments. Yesterday, YouTube was doing some funky stuff with it kept like interrupting the live. And I know I wasn't the only one, because I had there's another YouTuber who said the same thing. So doesn't look like we're having that issue today, which is good. So again, my stove is on simmer. I don't need it any higher than this. And so we are going to, right now it is still watery, but that's okay, because as this cooks, it's going to thicken. You do not need to add any cornstarch. All you need to do is eliminate some of this water naturally by letting this cook. You don't need to add cornstarch. There's already a cup of flour in this. So our color is there. Right now is a good time to go ahead and add whatever remaining seasonings. You don't need too much for this. Remember, the steak is well seasoned, the flour is well seasoned, and here already has salt and pepper. So I'm just gonna finally add in some of this simple Morton's Nature seasoning here, just for a little zhuzh, and that's it. We're not gonna go crazy with it. This does have salt, so always know what you're using, what has salt, what doesn't. Some people get scared of seasoning that doesn't have salt, and you just got to know what you're using. That's it. Continue to whisk on low. And this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I may do a second batch of this. We'll see how this stretches. This is not something you want to walk away from. Be careful, it is hot. You don't want to be splashing all over the place. And we just are making sure there's no clumps. Letting this water do its thing. And that's really it. I just wanted to show you guys a good homemade brown gravy. And this is not going to take too long. So what I'll do, just so you guys can see, once this renders down just a little bit more, we're going to come over to our steaks and finish that up. So happy. It's always good when you have a vision and it comes out how you visioned it. So happy about this. Did all of this last night. This, you guys, this smells so good. So now imagine the gravy is gonna go on top, and then this is gonna be covered, and it's gonna marinate in the oven for hours. I would say about 3 hours. Okay. So again, just wanted to show you all quick, simple, homemade brown gravy. I don't want to see y'all in the store no more buying that gravy with all that processed stuff in there. Okay. But if you do, no judgment. It's okay. All right. Ooh, this is hot. Okay. So I'm just letting some of this, I want this to thicken up. So once this gets the consistency of what I wanted, I'll come back. I will pour this right on over our steaks, and then we will get it going. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start my oven. We're gonna turn on the oven here. Let's do 400. Let's do 400 bake. I'm not gonna broil this. All right. We don't need broil today. All right, and then it'll be covered. I might do a second batch of this. I do have this on the side here as well. But it just felt so good, you guys, just to wake up and all I had to do was make the gravy. All that frying and stuff last night and crying over onions. The drama. No, it wasn't drama. It was actually fun. But I decided last night I needed to rest. So I ended up making, which is good. I mean, the gravy needed to be fresh anyways, so. I already had my onions prepped. All right, so just waiting for this to get a little thicker. If this was too thick, I would have just added some water, but we don't need to add any more water. We're just gonna continue whisking because we want to make sure that, there's no flour. If you see any, the only chunks we should be seeing is our onion. All right. I'm just gonna show you guys. I'm actually gonna take this stove off. So what I did is I took the stove off. See you later, got to go. Okay. Have a good Friday. Forgot what I was gonna say. So the oven is on, this is off, this is still, the good thing about cast iron is you can take it off and it's still gonna hold its heat for a while. All right, so just allowing that to render a little bit more, and then I'm gonna bring you guys over here to show you the, shout out to Duncan. I had to go get me a coffee this morning, y'all, so wait a minute. I gotta put me first. I'm coming, you guys. Haven't forgotten you. I almost didn't go live, but then I remembered. I said, I promised I would show them. I did. And someone asked. So you see how that still kind of thickened up? If you can't tell, let me kind of, yeah, okay. I think what I'm going to do, I may make a second batch of this. Yes. All right. So this is ready to join the steaks in which they were created for. And we're gonna pour this right over our steak and let the oven do its thing. Let's see. Alrighty. Yeah. And honestly, what brown gravy is the browned flour. When you taste brown flour, that is the taste of gravy. So I hope that makes sense. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put you guys over here, and then I'm gonna come in with the gravy, and then I'll be done. I'll be done. Okay. So I'm gonna make a second batch of that. Ooh, we are just winging it, huh? So, brown gravy. Remember also that the steak itself is going to use its own, don't worry guys, I have a second batch. It's going to use its own, the steak is not fully cooked. The steak is going to release its own juices. So don't be intimidated by this. I'm going to add more gravy, and then also this steak here is going to finish cooking and release all its juices. So that's what we're going to do. So I have this here. We got the gravy on. I'm going to pour the second batch, and then we'll be good to go. I think that this meal, country fried steak, is one of those things we just have to trust the process, especially if you haven't made it before. This isn't my first time, so by now I know to trust the process, but it could be a little intimidating to someone who hasn't. So All right, y'all, this was just a short live. Enjoy your Friday. Thank you for joining again and stopping by. I may go live later. We'll see. But I just wanted to give you guys what I promised, which was the homemade gravy. I love you all. Take care. Enjoy your day. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.